Hi friends, story time with Miss Jill right now. We're going to read a book called Katy Duck is a Caterpillar. And I love this one because it's perfect for springtime. And it talks about caterpillars and flowers and cute little ducks. Oh, awesome. Here we go. Katy Duck loved to dance. Katy Duck loved to twirl like a snowflake on a frosty winter day. She loved to sparkle like a star on a warm summer's eve. And in the fall, Katy loved to spin like a leaf softly tumbling to the ground. Yeah. And tra-la-la-la-la, quack, quack, how I love to dance, said Katy Duck. Spring was Katy's favorite season of all. Springtime was filled with new and exciting surprises, while in the springtime, amazing things happened right before your eyes. Katy stretched like the buds that magically blossomed on the trees. Katy hopped to and fro like the baby birds just learning to fly. Katy swayed in the breeze like the tulips poking their heads above the ground. Tra-la-la-la-la, quack, quack, quack. How I love to dance, said Katy Duck. Tra-la-la-la-la, quack, quack, how I love spring. Come along now, Katy Duck, said Mrs. Duck. You don't want to be late for dance class. When Katy arrived at Mr. Tutu's school of dance, the other dancers were abuzz with excitement. Our dance recital is just a few weeks away. It will be a special celebration of spring, said Mr. Tutu. There will be flowers swaying in the breeze. There will be swans floating on the lake. There will be birds hopping to and fro. Now practice, everyone. Practice. In a few moments, I will announce your part in the show. A show to celebrate spring. Katy couldn't be more excited. She could hardly wait to see which part Mr. Tutu would select for her. Look at all her friends in dance class. Katy imagined that she was a bright yellow daffodil. She stretched up on her tippy toes. She could feel the spring breeze rustling through her petals. She could wear a sparkly costume, too. Oh, that would be great for her, huh? Okay. Why, that's one of the most beautiful spring flowers I've ever seen, said Mr. Tutu. There we go. Next, Katy imagined she was a swan on the lake. She glided, she floated. She could imagine a beautiful costume with shimmering wings. Yes, yes, said Mr. Tutu. That's a wonderful swan, Katy Duck. And then Katy waved her arms up and down, up and down. She flitted here, she flew there. She curled onto the ground as if she was landing in a soft, cozy nest. I'm certain that's one of the best birds ever, said Mr. Tutu. Well done, Katy, well done. Before long, it was time to announce who would be assigned each part. I wonder what she'll get. Gather around, please, said Mr. Tutu. He rubbed his chin. He cleared his throat. Katy's heart beat with excitement. Which part would be hers? First, Mr. Tutu chose the spring flowers. He did not choose Katy Duck. Oh, poor Katy Duck. That's okay, said Katy. She did want to be a pretty flower, but she could be a beautiful swan or a fuzzy baby bird or even a colorful ladybug. Katy Duck stretched her neck gracefully and waited. Next, Mr. Tutu chose the spring swans, but he did not choose Katy. Oh my, Katy said, thinking of the shimmering wings. I would love to be a swan. Mr. Tutu chose the birds. There were baby birds just learning to fly, but he did not choose Katy. Oh no, thought Katy. She really, really wanted to be a bird. Then Mr. Tutu chose the blossoms, the trees, a sun, and some fluffy clouds. I believe we have everything we need for a wonderful celebration of spring, said Mr. Tutu. But what about me? Asked Katy Duck. Yeah, does she look a little sad? Right there? I think so. I think she feels like she was forgotten by Mr. Tutu. Mr. Tutu turned to Katy. He rubbed his chin. He cleared his throat. He looked at Katy thoughtfully. Oh, yes, of course, said Mr. Tutu. You, Katy Duck, shall be a caterpillar. A caterpillar, thought Katy Duck. A caterpillar crawled on the ground. A caterpillar did not sway or glide or flutter. A caterpillar did not have petals or sparkle. Katy felt a lump in her throat. Her stomach ached. Katy tried very hard not to cry. I think she was very, very sad. Imagine, Katy Duck, said Mr. Tutu, a caterpillar. What a celebration of spring. What celebration of spring would it be without a caterpillar? Oh, I still think she wanted to be something else. She still looks kind of sad. Katy looked right and Katy looked left. She looked down. This was not the part Katy had hoped for at all. The class practiced and practiced and practiced. They practiced and practiced some more. While the flowers swayed, Katy Duck stretched. While the swans floated, Katy inched up and down. While the birds flew to and fro, Katy jiggled and wiggled. You see all of her friends dancing and gliding around? Yep. And there Katy Duck is hanging out on the floor. At last, it was time for the show. Places, everyone. Please take your places, called Mr. Tutu. The curtain swept open. The music began. The flowers burst forth onto the stage. The swans glided along, oh so gracefully. The baby birds flapped their wings, skittering to and fro. Buds blossomed, trees swayed, clouds skipped by, and the sun shone its rays. Look at that. Do you see the beautiful rainbow there is too? Yeah. The audience applauded. It was a wonderful celebration of spring. And indeed, now it was time for Katy Duck's entrance. Mr. Tutu nodded. Imagine, Katy Duck, said Mr. Tutu, a caterpillar. Now, what does a caterpillar turn into? Let's see. Katy Duck slowly crawled like a caterpillar onto the stage. She inched up and down. She stretched. She curved. She jiggled. She wiggled. She inched up and down some more. And then something happened. Suddenly, Katy Duck remembered just while spring was her favorite season of all. Springtime was filled with new and exciting surprises. Wow. In springtime, amazing things happened right before your eyes. Katy spun around quickly. Katy curled up. Then Katy lay absolutely still. The audience grew quiet, very quiet. What do you think Katy Duck is doing? She was the caterpillar here, and now she's lying very, very still in a tiny ball. Let's see. And when it was just the right time, Katy jiggled and wiggled again. Katy rocked and rolled. She bounced and she bumped. Katy reached and Katy stretched. As the music soared, Katy Duck felt her arms begin to flutter. She felt her feet begin to pitter-patter. And there, right before everyone's eyes, came a true springtime surprise. Something new and exciting and amazing indeed. Well, even Mr. Tutu had never seen anything quite like this before. Where there once was a caterpillar, there now appeared a butterfly. A butterfly. Yeah, because that's what caterpillars turn into in the spring. Look at that. And after all, what would a celebration of spring be without a butterfly? Katy Duck fluttered and floated and flew proudly across the stage. Look how happy she is, my friends. Bravo, cried the crowd as the flowers bowed. Bravo, they cheered as the swans curtsied. Bravo, they applauded as the baby birds flapped their wings. But the biggest cheers of all were saved for Katy Duck. Bravo, Katy, cried Mr. Tutu. Tra-la-la-la-la, quack, quack, quack. How I love to dance, said Katy. Tra-la-la-la-la, quack, quack, and how I do love spring. I love this book. I hope you enjoyed it too. Until next time, bye-bye.